start by being honest with you. Can I keep it real with you? Oh, good. Okay. Then I'm going to be honest and tell you that I did not go to school to become classical music's #1 maverick. That was not the goal. I had dreams of just being a world-famous classical concert pianist. I knew exactly what my life would sound like. It would sound like Mozart. Chopin. Beethoven, of course. So imagine my surprise when at my first piano lesson, I did not sound anything like that. My first teacher insisted that I play out of these beginner piano books, and I begged him to let me play some real music. He refused me. And after about 8 or 9 months, he died. I don't know why you're laughing. It's not funny. It's a very sad occasion. So I go now to my second teacher, and lo and behold, he also breaks out these awful beginner piano books. And I beg him, please let me play some Mozart or some Beethoven or Chopin. And he said, no, Jade, we must go 1 page at a time. And that torture went on for 5 or 6 months. And then he also died. So now it's getting scary. My parents are worried that I'm cursed. People are wondering if I'm the Black Widow of piano students. So I go now to my third teacher, and I thought it would have been irresponsible of me not to tell her what had happened to the 2 teachers who came before her. So I said, Miss Whitehead, I just want to be honest. My first 2 teachers insisted I play out of these beginner piano books, and they were dead within a year. Never forget that. She said to me, Jade, what would you like to play? So she gave me my first real music. I am standing here today because of that third teacher. You are here because you get the chance to be just like that third teacher. There are people who are waiting on you to be the person to take them and their assets to the next level. But are you really going to pay attention to get to know who they really are? Are you going to really find out what their dreams and goals really are? Because they are looking for someone to partner with them to do epic things. How many of you in here are ready to do epic things in life and business? Yes? Well, you have to understand what the word epic means. Epic means a legendary, history-making story. I don't believe in accidents. I believe that if I'm here, it's because I am in the room with thousands of people who are ready to make history with their lives and with their businesses. Am I in the right place? Yes! I'm going to play for you a piece that I'm only able to play because of that third teacher. This is Rachmaninoff's C-sharp minor prelude, a piece that has already found its place in history. and I found out everybody was pretty good. Now, I bet you have no idea what it's like to be in a super competitive, slightly oversaturated industry where everybody does exactly what you do. You know what that's like? Anybody? Yeah. Your industry is extremely competitive, and so is mine. I want to tell you about 3 demographics we have. On one side, we have these annoying little child prodigies. These guys are like 5 or 6 years old, and they play the same music you just heard me play. But they're just so much more adorable than I am. And on this side, we got these old guys. I mean old, like 150 years old. They don't just play Beethoven. They played golf with Beethoven, you know? But they just won't die and get off the stage. And then in the middle, there was me, an African-American female classical concert pianist. And the only way that I knew to survive sometimes was to compete to death. I'd play the biggest, fastest pieces possible. And can I just admit to you that it was tiring? It was so tiring that in order to get through these concerts, I started telling stories in the middle of the music. And I noticed that the audience did something weird. They started liking the stories just as much as they liked the music. And they would say, oh my gosh, we love the music, but that story you told, it made me feel something. And I was offended because I had come to impress them with what I did best. I thought that this thing, the piano, the music, was the reason I was here. One of the first moves you're going to have to make is you're going to have to re-understand purpose. I thought my purpose was to play the piano. I discovered over time that it was bigger than that. So is yours. Your purpose is not the thing you do. It's the thing that happens in others when you do what you do. When you get that, it shifts everything. Once I started re-understanding purpose, it changed the way I felt on stage. It changed the way that I saw my audiences. And one of the biggest changes that's on stage in terms of what my possibilities were for my audience, you're going to have to start re-understanding your purpose. You're not just financial advisors. You're not just in financial services businesses. It's way bigger than that. People listen to you, well, some of them, right? They listen to you, and when they do, you guide them. Your words, your expertise helps to lift plans, goals, and dreams that had once been grounded for lack of strategic planning. You literally help people get to a place where when they begin a new relationship with their finances, they are now in a position to leave a legacy. Because of that, I don't think of you as financial advisors. I think that your purpose is really to be legacy lifters. How do you like the sound of that? When you re-understand that, sometimes it feels like it requires a lot of change to have to even think of things differently, but I feel like change, we've been making it much harder than it really is. Whenever you want to change something, you first start with something familiar. You don't even have to go to music school to know that that's Flight of the Bumblebee, right? So see, you precede change with connection. And when people know that you're connected with them, not just to impress them, but to make an impact, the people in your teams will start to believe in the change that you're introducing, and soon enough they'll be begging you to jazz things up a bit.
Why?
Now you see, once you start jazzing things up a bit, why do you stop there? You've already got the people you serve, you've got their attention already. So what you really want to do is not just change things a little bit, you want to decide to be the remix. Enjoy that? You know what I just did? Was in real time, I did what Mavericks have to do next. They have to begin to believe and always be reinventing. You have to always agree to evolving, and you do that by accepting bold invitations to reinvent every time you get them. How many of you are excited that when you leave Mdrt, you're ready to do bold new things when you leave here? Raise your hand. Who's excited? Oh, you look, only a little bit of you are excited. Yes? How many of you would accept a bold invitation if it happened tomorrow? You'd be ready, yeah? And I'm also curious, does anybody else in here play the piano? Anybody? And a few people? I'm always curious to know who's in the room, yes? And nobody else? You're very scared, it looks like, to tell me that you play the piano. I was just curious. So how many of you would be ready to reinvent if the moment came right now? Who would be ready? You know, sometimes I'm in these situations and a name will just come to my head. You know, when you're having coffee, eating breakfast at conferences like this, you have to always be aware of the opportunities that are around you. Sometimes you'll bump into somebody at the espresso machine and not realize that they are the keynote speaker for the event that you're there for. Maybe it's somebody like, what's this name? Brad. Brad? Is there a Brad in here? Oh my God, Brad Elman, is that you? Come on up, Brad. Brad found himself talking to my assistant at the espresso machine at the hotel, but he had no idea he'd be on the stage. Come on up, Brad. Big round of applause for Brad. Yeah? Now I'm curious, you know, everybody likes you, Brad, because they didn't get picked. They're happy that it's you and it's not them. Who else in here plays the piano? Anybody play piano? No? You play piano? That's so amazing. When's the last time you played? When? 1 week ago. You are perfect for right now. Come join me on stage. Yeah, perfect. Come on, make your way to the piano. You see, you have to decide now that you're going to put yourself in a position that when the moment comes to you, you're going to dare to say yes. Brad, take a seat. Do you play the piano, Brad?
Not very well, no.
Oh, that's all right. You're still perfect. Sit right here at the end of the piano. Come on over. Come on over. Who do we have here? Tell the audience who you are.
I'm Sydney. Sydney.
And you played piano last week?
Yes.
Have a seat. Perfect. You see, when you're an audacious leader and you're having to lead teams, sometimes you don't know what you're going to get. And you're going to have to trust your team. Brad, I'm going to trust you today to hold down the bass. You're just going to give me 2 notes here. That's all. Can you do that? Oh, he's a prodigy, isn't he? Yes. Now, I want you to play just a little melody, whatever you want, in the key of C minor. We'll just stay on C minor. Anything you want. So a leader doesn't to do what she's requiring of them. She's going to trust that she can take two people of two different skill levels and trust they're going to find their groove. An audacious leader doesn't get nervous. She doesn't micromanage. She waits until just the right moment, and then she scoots in and makes things just a little bit better. It's 2014, but I don't want you to let that be the closing act of the keynote speaker. I want you to see this as what it looks like when you begin to bring all of yourself to every single table, every single time. What you must do, your last move, you've already got it done for you. You must connect with other mavericks. You must link up with people who move like you, talk like you, and want the same epic things that you do. I'm gonna end now with Black Beethoven. Can I rap for you? Is that okay? All right, here we go. Thank you so much, Mdrt Global. You've been a fabulous audience. Thank you. I played Beethoven. They went crazy when I hit the keys really fast. Really, they was worried that their precious talent wouldn't last. I won it all, had the trophy in my right hand, but on my left was a seersuckered old man. He looked at me in my cute little round face, told me with a smile I was a credit to my own race. I was worried for this man, he about to get got. If my angry daddy was an earshot, but he kept wondering, said he wanted to move like me. If only they would play a little Beethoven and Debussy. Get up off of my gown, clown. Get up off of my stage, gauge. You're not gonna block out my shine, Ryan. You're not gonna hammer this grind, Ryan. Get up out of my trailer, Taylor. Get up out of my cake, Jake. You're not gonna hold this back, Jack. Didn't you know Beethoven was back? You whack. Thank you, Mdrt.